Inconvenience. Okay, I think it started recording. All right, I'll share my screen. Okay, is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, let's recite this verse just once and then we'll start discussing it. I think we have lost some time already. It's not a very big verse, a short purport, and then we'll discuss. You can repeat after me. Yasya avatara gyayante
Yes,
Avatar Jnayante
sharirashva ashariranaha
Sharirasya Kesharanaha
taister atulya tisyayar
Tairatulya Tisyaya
virya dehi swasangatahe
Vidyai Dehi Susangataya
sabhavan sarvalokasya
Sabhavan Sarvalokasya
bhavaya vibhavaya cha
Bhavaya Vibhavaya
avatirnomsha bhagena
Avatirno Bhagena
sampratam patirashisham.
Sampratam Patirashisham.
I just read the translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Appearing in bodies like those of an ordinary fish, tortoise, and hog, you exhibit activities impossible for such creatures to perform. Extraordinary, incomparable, transcendental activities of unlimited power and strength. These bodies of yours, therefore, are not made of material elements, but are incarnations of your Supreme Personality. You are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have now appeared with full potency for the benefit of all living entities within this material world. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.7 and 8, Yada 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 hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya ch dushkritam dharma samsthapanathaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna appears as an incarnation when real spiritual life declines and when rogues and thieves increase to disturb the situation of the world. Unfortunate, less intelligent persons bereft of devotional service cannot understand the Lord's activities, and therefore such persons describe these activities as kalpana, mythology or imagination, because they are rascals and the lowest of men. Namam dushkritano mudha prapadyante naradhamaha. Such men cannot understand that the events described by Vyasadeva in the Puranas and other Shastras are not fictitious or imaginary, but factual. Krishna, in his full unlimited potency, here shows that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For although the two trees were so large and sturdy that even many elephants could not move them, Krishna as a child exhibited such extraordinary strength that they fell down with a great sound. From the very beginning, by killing Putana, Shakatasura, and Trinavartasura, by causing the trees to fall, and by showing the entire universe within his mouth, Krishna proved that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The lowest of men, mudhas, because of sinful activities, cannot understand this, but devotees can accept it without a doubt. Thus, the position of a devotee is different from that of a non-devotee. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. I read the translation one more time. Appearing in bodies like those of an ordinary fish, tortoise, and hawk, you exhibit activities impossible for such creatures to perform. Extraordinary, incomparable, transcendental activities of unlimited power and strength. These bodies of yours, therefore, are not made of material elements, but are incarnations of your Supreme Personality. You are the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have now appeared with full potency for the benefit of all living entities within this material world. So, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 10, entitled The Deliverance of the Yamala Arjuna Trees. These verses come in a section that devotees love to read, at least during the month of Kartik. Even without Kartik, also many devotees love these sections. So as we know, these verses, the two verses 34 and 35, which are talking about the different avatars. So primarily 3 avatars are mentioned over here. We have the Matsya avatar, the Varaha avatar, and the other one is the fish and the Kurma avatar. Now, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave instructions on what we can call as avatar science, the systematic analysis of various avatars, to Srila Sanatana Goswami. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are a lot of chapters, right from the chapter 19 in the Madhya Lila to chapter 24. Excuse me. Chapter 19 is Lord Chaitanya's instructions to Srila Rupa Goswami, and chapter 20 is Lord Chaitanya's instructions to Sanatana Goswami. And interestingly, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes in such a way that apparently instructions to Rupa Goswami ends in 1 chapter only. And Sanatan Goswami's instructions, which go on for 2 months, they extend in the Chaitanya Charitamrita for over 5 chapters. So chapter 21 talks about the opulence and the sweetness of Krishna, the Aishwarya and the Madhurya. And then in the chapter 22, the process of devotional service is described. And chapter 23 is love of Godhead, the ultimate goal of life. And chapter 24 is the 61 explanations of the Atmaram verse. So actually in chapter 21, there is a lot of description about the different kinds of avatars. Also, there is a book on avatar science, but it is written not by Sanatan Goswami, but by Rupa Goswami. This book is, anyone knows what is that book that I am referring to, which talks about the different kinds of avatars and how there are different qualities exhibited by different kinds of avatars. It gives a very thorough understanding.
I've
Someone-
seen it.
I'm sorry?
Is it the Lagu Bhagavatamrita?
Yes, Mata, yes, talking about Laghu Bhagavatamrit. It's one of my favorite books. So also, if we look at the corpus of literature that we have available to us from the Goswamis, actually Rupa Goswami has written much more than what Sanatan Goswami has written. Although apparently Rupa Goswami's instructions, the instructions that were given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami, they lasted only for about only 10 days. Whereas the instructions given to Sanatan Goswami, they lasted for about 2 months. And there's a significant difference. So the subsequent Vaishnavacharyas, they explain that when the Goswamis wrote books, it was not that they were writing these books in isolation. These books are actually teamwork, and there are actually examples also given by Acharyas. In the, like for example, in the Sat Sandarbhas, when Jiva Goswami is describing the Sandarbhas, he is offering obeisances to Krishna, then to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he says to my spiritual master, Srila Rupa Goswami. He offers obeisances to Rupa Goswami. And then he says, actually, much of this book is written by certain Bhatta from South India. And I'm very grateful to him for it. So this is very interesting. I didn't really, at first glance, couldn't catch that. Then when I heard this from a devotee, so he doesn't mention the name Gopal Bhatta over there. Now, there could be many different reasons for it. One apparent reason could be that Gopal Bhatta was originally from Shri Sampradaya, while Jiva Goswami is establishing the principles of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So he just says that certain Bhatta has helped me also in this. So the point is, the books that the Goswamis are, the books written by Goswamis are actually kind of a teamwork. So what they would do is they will review the manuscripts of each other, they discuss this, they will edit it, and refine it. So a lot of hard work was put into each and every book that was given by the Goswamis. So the Laghu Bhagavatamrit uses many sections of Srimad Bhagavatam also as the basis for describing the various kinds of avatars. So as we know, there are primarily 6 kinds of avatars. The avatars that are mentioned in this particular section that we just read of the Bhagavatam, they are all the Lila avatars, right? All the 3 that we discussed, all these 3 are Lila avatars. So now we have to understand that whenever we classify, different things in different categories, actually no classification is actually watertight. Why? Because the reality is always integrated and holistic. For example, we may say that we have morning, we have afternoon, and then we have evening. Now, when does the noon actually ends and when does the evening starts? Is there a precise second at which, we can say that now at this second evening has started? No, exactly. It's not like that. So most of us have a very modern Western way of thinking to categorize things in like black boxes, very hardcore black boxes. But reality is not just analytic, it is also synthetic. So similarly, there is the classification of the avatars that is given here, but it is not that, an avatar is only this and not this. For example, Vamana and Yagya, in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita itself, it is described that Vaman and Yagya, they are both Lila avatars as well as the Manvantara avatars. They perform Leelas also, but they are also identified as Manvantara avatars. So let's quickly discuss the different avatars that we have. So first of all, we have the Purusha avatars. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in one of his purports, that Purusha is one of the very important concepts in Sankhya. We have Purusha and Prakriti. Prakriti, as we all know, is the material nature, and it cannot be activated without the Purusha. So actually, there are different levels of manifestation of Prakriti. One of the levels that are described is Mahatattva. To understand this better, for every manifestation of the Supreme Lord, he always have a corresponding feminine manifestation also. For example, with Krishna, we have Radharani. With Lord Ram, we have Mother Sita. Then we have Lakshmi Narayan. So like that, this material nature is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Now in Tirupati Balaji, if some devotees have visited Tirupati Balaji, we have two consorts of Lord Balaji over there. So we have Sri Devi and then we have Bhudevi. So Sri Devi represents the spiritual potency and Bhudevi represents the material potency. So like that, when the feminine potency of the Lord is manifesting as Mahatattva, that time the Purusha, corresponding to that manifestation is Lord. Who is it? Who is the first Purusha Avatara? Okay.
Karanodakashaya Vishnu.
Right. Lord Mahavishnu, as we say. So sometimes, Lord Mahavishnu is also explained as the super soul of the Mahatattva. In the 14.3 verse of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mam yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyaham. Now I impregnate the total material substance that gives birth to all living beings. Now when Krishna says I, he is actually, Acharya has explained that he is actually referring to, as Prabhuji said, Karanodakshaya Vishnu. So similarly, when the material substance is divided into multiple universes, the Supreme Lord manifests as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and he becomes the super soul of the different universes. So as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he enters into each and every universe. And when the material nature manifests as our individual bodies, Supreme Lord manifests as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. He is the super soul, the localized aspect of Paramatma residing in the hearts of each and every living entity. When the Lord resides in a temple building, each and every part of that building is considered to be sacred. So like that, the body is also sometimes comes compared to a temple, since the Supreme Lord is residing in the heart of every living entity. Now, at the ultimate level, the body is a manifestation of Prakriti. When we are in ignorance, we think that I am this body. Another level of ignorance is this is my body. But actually, both I and my are wrong. This body is a manifestation of Mother Nature, and this body comes from Mother Nature through our biological mother. And the form of the Lord that manifests as consort for this body is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So this way, the Lord manifests at every level of creation. And when Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Dharma Sansthapanathaaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge, the word dharma over here has a very, very profound meaning. It is not just, I would say, religious duty, and it is not just, sometimes we say our dharma is our irreducible nature. It is the irreducible nature of a living entity or a substance. But it is not just that. Dharma is the underlying order that makes things the way they are. Dharma is the system of harmony and order by which everything is governed and maintained. So actually the dharma of the material nature is maintained by the presence of the Supreme Lord in it. So the words dharma sanstapana thayar sambhavami yuge yuge refers to those manifestations of the Lord that manifest in front of our vision. But when those incarnations are not manifesting, sometimes right now there is no avatar that is manifested right now in front of us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was the last avatar, manifest avatar, he appeared 500 years back, but no, none of the avatars are currently manifested that we could directly perceive. But it is not that Lord has abandoned this world. The Lord is always present in this world, and he is underlying and governing the material nature. Krishna very clearly confirms that in 9.10. He says, Mayadhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetuna anena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. So Mayadhakshena prakriti, adhyaksha, adi aksha means, adi means to see, adi means from above, and aksha means to see, adi aksha. So under my supervision this prakriti is working. And also in 13.23, Krishna says, Upadrashta Anumanta cha bhukta bharta maheshwara. So I am the Upadrashta and Anumanta. I am the overseer and permitter. So he is overseeing everything, and it is under his governance that everything is working over here. So actually, material nature originates from Krishna. It is sustained by Krishna. It is controlled by Krishna. And what is the purpose of material nature? It is meant for the service of Krishna. So material nature just doesn't originate from Krishna. It is also, I would say, permeated by Krishna. So the material nature has a very intimate relationship with the Lord. This is the important point, that is the takeaway from this discussion. There is a very intimate relationship between the Lord and the material nature also. So Krishna also mentions in the 4th chapter in verses 7 and 8 that how he comes to maintain order in this world. But even after he establishes order in this world, there is going to be disorder in this world. So the real purpose why the Lord comes in this world is given not in 4.7 and 8, but it is given in verse 4.9, the verse that comes right after it. But sometimes people get so enamored with verses 4.7, 7 and 8, they completely miss out in the next verse 4.9. So he comes for what purpose? To attract our consciousness and bring us back to the spiritual world. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatpataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti. So Arjuna. Mostly people quote the verses yada yada hi dharmasya and paritranaya sadhunam. Now, Prabhupada also quote these verses in his different purports, but he quotes Janma Karma Chame Devyam much more than that. It's so many places Prabhupada quotes Janma Karma Chame Devyam. I don't remember exactly but so many places Prabhupada has quoted this verse, Janma Karma Chame Devyam. So there are 2 verses in the Gita that are quoted very often by general people, not by devotees, general people. Even I used to quote that when I had not actually gone through Bhagavad Gita systematically. So what are those verses? One is Karmanya Vadhikaraste, and the other one is this Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. So these are the 2 verses from the Gita that are used to defy the purpose of the Gita. So people quote Karmanya Vadhikaraste when people want to ignore God. No, I just have to do my work. I don't have to worry about God. Why are you bringing God into the picture? Just do your work. So this is given by people who want to avoid God, who just want to focus on just do your work. That's it. You don't have to worry anything. Work is worship. And Sambhavami Yuge Yuge is used by people who want to claim that I am God. The God keeps coming all the time. They say, in this yuga, I have come. Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. So many people have, you might see even, I don't want to name anyone because some people have some, connections with some people, but people use this verse from the Gita and say that, this, I am the avatar in this way. You should worship me in this, now that I have come here. So, and then they don't even quote the full verse. No, they just quote the 1/4 of the verse. Our acharyas, especially in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have the half-hen logic that is mentioned over there. No, but this is not even half-hen logic. This is quarter-hen logic. So Prabhupada quotes Janma Karma Chame Devyam so many times because Krishna do come to this world, but the purpose of his coming is not just to establish harmony and order in this world. Why? Because this word, as we know, is Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. There can never be always harmony and order in this world. Whenever design of a thing, so sometimes people may ask, why can't there be always order in this question is very common, that if Krishna himself came and established order in this world, then why is it that immediately after Krishna left, Kali Yuga started? And Kali Yuga, as we know, is a time of for disorder. Everything is so much disordered over here. There's so much misery in the Kali Yuga. So actually, whenever design of a thing has to be analyzed, it should be analyzed while keeping the purpose of that thing in the mind. Many times the theists and the atheists, they have big arguments. Even devotees might have had some arguments sometimes, sometimes with theists, sometimes with the Abrahamic people from Abrahamic religions. So the theist would say that God has provided so much in this world. He has provided rains, he has provided grains, he has provided air, land, he has provided practically everything. How can you not believe in God? And then the atheists would say that actually there is so much wrong in this world. There are floods, there are tsunamis, there are earthquakes. Where is God? If God is there, then how could there be so many miseries, floods, tsunamis, etc., etc.? So actually, both of them are trying to evaluate the design of this world without taking into consideration the purpose of that design. Just like, I may say that, I have my mobile, and, I can type some messages on my mobile. But if I say, no, today I want to write a book and I will write that book using my mobile phone, and I can even start writing the book, but after...
Yeah, it is. I can turn it up.
Sorry, I think
Yeah,
somebody...
check tonight. So, giving you that in a couple.
Jill, you're not on mute.
I just muted her. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, and even I can start writing a book on my mobile, but after a while I say, what a useless mobile is this? What a useless design. So much labor have to be done. One word I have to type so much. So actually, what is happening here? The mobile is not meant for typing a book. Mobile is meant primarily for communication. So like that, any design, if we take and if we disconnect it with its purpose, then we can find faults in any design, and that is why Pratyaksha and Anuman are inconclusive in proving the existence of God. Theists can give so many reasons of design and order in this world, and atheists can give many counter arguments proving there is so much chaos in this world. So Pratyaksha and Anuman cannot tell us the purpose of the design. The purpose of the design has to be learnt only through Shabda. Excuse me. Just as in the Western philosophy, there are two different kinds of theologies. We have the rational theology and then we have the revelational theology. So rational theology means by our own logic and reason, we try to prove the existence of God. No, it is, it is based on, I would say rational theology is based on rationality and logic, which is good. And if you have faith in logic and rationality, you can use that to prove the existence of God. But just as water can float a ship, the same water can also sink a ship. So rationality and logic can be used to prove the existence of God, but the same logic, if the atheists are adept in playing games with logic, it can be used to prove the opposite. Now, why? Because rational theology cannot tell us the purpose of the design. So even a hardline atheist cannot say that there is no design in this world. They accept that there is design. But their argument is that design has come not by a designer, but by chance or say coincidence. Just by coincidence it has come. So one side we have to accept that there is order and design in this world, and on the other side we cannot deny that there is suffering and ultimately there is death in this world. So normally when we think of design, we think of it as something that is very comfortable and conducive for us. That's why when people see suffering in this world, often people lose faith in God. They say, if God is there, why is Corona over there? So many people are dying with Corona. If you look at the numbers, even in America, so many people have already lost their lives because of coronavirus. So people ask, if God is there, why are so many people dying with this Corona? But we have to see, we have to see, um, could there could there be both design and suffering? Is it possible that both design and suffering be integrated in this world for some higher purpose? Do we see design and suffering together somewhere in this world? If we have to just use some analogy, so we see that design and suffering is integrated at a place, say for example in hospital. In hospital, it is very well designed. There are big machines are there, very sophisticated machines. There are schedules for doctors, there are different shifts are there, rooms are very well maintained. There are so many different kinds of food arrangements are made for the patients. But ultimately what's happening over there, everybody who is there in the hospital, they are suffering. Now just because a patient is suffering in the hospital doesn't mean that there is no order and design in the hospital. So just so we can use these kind of analogies. So but Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita that when material analogies are used to understand spiritual truths, it is like the Shakha Chandra Nyaya. I think that's the word he uses. The living entities are used to see things only in terms of sense gratification. For example, when I say this, the weather is bad today, it's raining. So why is it bad? Because it is not good for sense gratification. I cannot go out and enjoy outside. I have to sit at my home and just try to find some other things to do, because I cannot go out and enjoy. So that's why the weather is bad. So everything that we see in this world, we see that I should be getting some enjoyment over there. So that is like Shakha Chandra Nyaya. So like, what is Shakha Chandra Nyaya? Some of you might have already some of you might already know about it. Just like a small child is there and he doesn't have any conception of moon. What exactly is moon? Chandra is moon. Shakha means branch. And then if the parent has to show from the window that there is moon, but the child cannot see, the moon is right there, but he is not able to understand, okay, this bright object that is shining very bright, that is actually moon. So if the parent has to show what is moon, so the parent would tell him that, okay, do you see this tree? Like, yes, I see this tree. Okay, do you see, go up, do you see the branches? Yes, I can see that there are leaves coming out, there are green leaves. Do you see these two branches? And between these two branches, do you see that bright shining object? The child would say, yes, I see that. Okay, that object that is shining very bright, that is moon. And the child would become very happy. He would say, okay, I'll just go out and I'll climb up on the tree and I'll catch the moon. But then the parrot would say, no, but actually the moon is not there. But the child would say, but you just told me that the moon is there in between the branches. So actually the moon is there for all practical purposes, but actually it is not there. It is it is not accessible over there like that. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that actually no material analogy can fully explain the spiritual truths. So no material analogy is actually descriptive of the spiritual truth. It is only indicative of the spiritual truth. So another analogy we could use is that of a prison, a jail. There is design, but there is also suffering over there. Everyone who is there in the prison, they are suffering. Now, every analogy has a particular purpose, and every design has also a particular purpose. And every analogy has to be understood in that way. So the jail analogy conveys that it is we, who have done something wrong, and as a result, we have been put in the jail. But the jail analogy doesn't talk anything about the compassion of God. It just talks about the legislation. The hospital analogy talks about God as the doctor. God is not just a jail warden who is punishing the people who are in jail. He is actually treating people of their diseases in the hospital. So what is actually the purpose in this word, like a jail or a hospital? No, it is, I would say, Shakha Chandranaya again. Now, why would the Lord make this word the way it is? If he wants to make a design, can he not make it a happy place? Why is this word Dukhalaya Shashvatam? That is because Dukhalaya serves a particular purpose. The purpose is to prompt us to come out of this world. This is what is Prabhupada mentions in the, I think it's mentioned in the Sri Upanishad, one of the purports. Prabhupada mentions that the pain and suffering which exists in this world, it exists to remind us that we are incompatible with this material world. So we are incompatible with matter. That is what Prabhupada explains in the purport in the Sri Upanishad. Very expertly he writes. So it's a very, one of my favorite books actually, Sri Upanishad. We are also reading it. So basically the purpose of pain and suffering is to prompt us to turn towards Krishna, towards and then to return back to him. So when we see apparent fault in a design, we have to understand that the fault is not in the design. The fault is in my understanding of the purpose of the design. So this is very important even for the devotees to understand. Sometimes devotees also find that their lives are getting out of control and they start asking, why is Krishna creating so much trouble in my life? Now, what we are thinking is we can have a very peaceful and cozy life in Krishna consciousness. But if we are peaceful and cozy always, it is very unlikely that we'll be Krishna conscious. So, and actually, Krishna doesn't want to unnecessarily create misery in our lives, misery and disorder. Krishna actually wants us to be Krishna conscious, and sometimes it is necessary to disrupt our peace and comfort so that we can be Krishna conscious. Sometimes it is necessary for some order to be there in our lives to be Krishna conscious. Sometimes it is necessary for some disorder to be there in our lives to be Krishna consciousness. We see in Bhagavatam also, so many devotees, they have so many great sufferings coming up in their lives, but that suffering, as we know, makes them take shelter of Krishna, and then go deeper and deeper in Krishna consciousness. And these stories also become, they basically set a glorious example for all of us to follow, and to understand. So coming back to the Purusha avatars, they sustain this world, but they sustain this world not so that we can live comfortably in this world, but so that we can transcend this world. We can come back to Krishna in the spiritual world. So if we see out of the 6 categories of the avatars that are mentioned, 3 categories are concerned with the maintenance of this world. So what are these 3 categories? We have the Purusha avatars, of course. They are the sources and the sustenance of the world. Then we also have the Guna avatars. The Guna avatars are also in one sense sustaining, and then we have the Manvantara avatars. So the Guna avatars we are talking about, we have the Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, and they take charge of maintenance, creation and destruction. Brahma takes charge of creation, Vishnu takes charge of maintenance, and Lord Shiva takes charge of destruction. Now, some Puranas say that Lord Brahma is supreme. Some Puranas say that Lord Shiva is supreme. But actually, creation and destruction, if they are the only things that are going on, and then there will be nothing maintained. So the balance between creation and destruction is basically maintained by Vishnu. So Vishnu's role is most important. If something is created and the next moment it is destroyed, there is no maintenance left. Now, in our bodies, there are cells that are created and destroyed. But every cell has a lifetime also, a lifespan. And because those cells have lifespan, because of that, we also have lifespan. If the cells didn't had any lifespan, then we would not have any lifespan also. Therefore, creation and destruction are important, but the most important function is maintenance. And that is why Lord Vishnu, the Sattva Guni Guna Avatara, he actually does that. So that is about the Guna Avtaras. Then the Manvantara Avtaras are talked about in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially, where every Manu is described, and during his time, the Manvantara Avtaras are described. And generally, they also do Dharma Samsthapana Thayar Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. They also come and repeatedly establish Dharma, order. And they will basically, whenever there is some major disorder in this world, they will come and they will try to establish order. For example, we see the Sri Ishopanishad is a prayer which is offered by Swayambhu Manu to the Supreme Lord, coming as Yagya. When he's offering these prayers, suddenly, some demons come and they attack him and they want to basically eat him up. And actually, at that time, Yagya comes to the rescue of the Manu. So these are Manvantara Avtaras. So the Manvantara Avtaras come at least once during each Manu's lifetime. So there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and so there are 14 Manvantara Avtaras. Then there are the Yuga Avtaras. The Yuga Avtaras come to teach the Yuga Dharma. The Yuga Dharma, as we know, is the process which is conducive for that particular Yuga. And by following that process diligently, a person can easily go back to the spiritual world. So that is basically the Yuga Dharma. Now, contrary to popular understanding, Krishna and Ram are not Yuga Avtaras. Krishna came when Dwaparya Paricharyaya. The Yuga Dharma for Dwapara is deity worship. And we see that in the Bhagavad Gita, there are only a few indirect references to deity worship. Then in the Uddhav Gita, in the 11th canto, 28th chapter, there is just one chapter on deity worship. Not much of, Krishna doesn't talk much about deity worship. And moreover, Krishna comes right at the end of Dwapar Yuga. The Yuga Dharma has to be taught at the beginning of the Yuga. What is the use of teaching Yuga Dharma at the end of the Yuga? So Krishna and Ram are not Yuga Avtaras, they are basically Leela Avtaras. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a special case. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we know, that he is a Yuga Avtara, but he is also a Leela Avtara. So as we were discussing in the beginning, that these categories are not watertight categories. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is both a Yuga Avtara and a Leela Avtara. It is not that Leela Avtara don't give any instructions. They also give instructions. And it is not that Yuga Avtaras don't perform any Leelas. They also perform Leelas. Actually, everything that the Lord does, is a Leela. But especially that Leela which attracts the consciousness of the conditioned souls towards the Supreme Lord, so much so that they want to participate in that Leela. Those are especially sweet Leela Avtaras. So out of all the Avtaras of the Lord, Rupa Goswami explains that Krishna is the highest because Krishna is Purna Purushottama. Okay, I don't have much time left. In fact, in the very important verse of Bhagavatam, which is 1.2.11, Vadanti Tattvavidas, Krishna is established as the Advaya Jnana Tattva, the non-dual truth of knowledge. But the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya explained that Krishna is not just Advaya Jnana Tattva. He is also Advaya Rasa Tattva. That means he is Rasaraj. As Rupa Goswami starts in the Nectar of Devotion by explaining, he is Akhila Rasamrit Vibhuti. He is the form of all bliss. So Krishna performs unlimited sweet pastimes by which the devotees can become attracted to him. So he says Krishna is the highest of all the avatars. Now, of course, in the Vishnu Puran, actually this is one of the criticisms that is given by people against ISKCON and Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy by other Vaishnava Sampradayas. And they say that in the Vishnu Puran it is said that to differentiate between any of the Avtara, any of the forms of the Vishnu is like a hellish mentality. Just as it is offensive to consider the deity as stone, similarly, to distinguish between any of the forms of Vishnu is actually a hellish kind of mentality. But this is with respect to Tattva. As we know, every Leela that the Lord performs, we had discussed this in one of the class, it has two aspects. It has the Leela and it has the Rasa. Leela is it has the Tattva and it is the Rasa. So Tattva is the philosophy, the philosophical truth, and Rasa is the mellow, So if we say that with respect to tattva, one is higher and one is lower, then that is definitely wrong, because all of them is Supreme Lord. But with respect to rasa, there is a difference. So Krishna is the highest, of course, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in the mood of Radharani. But then at the lower level, there are all the Vishnu Murtis. And in between, there are certain incarnations which are called as the Paravastha avatars. Paravastha means transcendentally situated. So Rupa Goswami explains that there are two incarnations, Narsimha Dev and Lord Ramchandra. These two incarnations, they exhibit a very special lila. Through these incarnations, the Bhakta Vatsalya of the Lord is very sweetly manifested. And they basically very expertly attract the consciousness of the devotees. So we can say the Vamana, Varaha, Matsya, they also perform wonderful pastimes, but they don't have any direct one-to-one reciprocation with the devotees. Now, Vaman Dev is so big, how can we even conceive of him, forget about having any reciprocation with him? So Prabhupada explains in one of his purports that yes, God is great, but sky is also great. Can you have any direct personal reciprocation with the sky? So he says that when God manifests in human-like forms, in those forms, we can have personal reciprocation with the Lord and offer our love to him. So in order to reciprocate love with us, the Lord appears in two-handed forms. Actually, to say that Lord manifests in a human-like form is incorrect. That's why I use the word two-handed form, because we are assuming that our form is the prototype and the Lord appears in a form like ours. And actually, it's the other way. The Lord has his original two-handed form, and he has given us a form like his. So when the Lord manifests in a two-handed form, that form reciprocates love most naturally with the devotees. So even within Lord Narsimha and Lord Rama, it is Lord Ram who has a very special reciprocation with his devotees. So these are the Lila avatars. Now, these are avatars that perform especially sweet pastimes by which the conditioned souls can get attracted to these forms. So this verse, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, this verse is like a sutra to understand the mercy of the Lord when he descends as an avatar. The words Janma and Karma refers to pastimes, and Tattvataha, this refers to philosophy. So to understand this verse better, when do we get attracted to the Lord? When there is a proper integration of philosophy and pastimes. I would say when there is a proper integration of the tattva and the rasa. So without philosophy, if we hear the pastimes are, I would say, merely amusing. But when we hear the philosophy, and then when we hear the pastimes along with the philosophy, the same pastimes, they become amazing. Now, what is the difference between amusing and amazing? Amusing means it is just a simple entertainment. For example, we have the Little Krishna series that is there on YouTube also, and they are very well done and they have become quite popular. But just by watching those videos, the understanding that this person Krishna is the ultimate shelter and I should also take his shelter, that understanding will not come. It is merely some kind of, I would say, devotional entertainment, pious entertainment. It is certainly good to watch. It is better to watch those videos instead of watching Superman and Spider-Man. But when we understand the tattva, that this person Krishna is the Supreme Lord, then the same Krishna Leela becomes amazing. And then it also transforms us and helps us transcend this world. Now, Krishna has two opposing and intriguing aspects to his personality. He is the sweetest, but at the same time, he is the greatest. Markandeya Rishi, in one of his prayers in the Brahman Puran, describes that Krishna, when he was a toddler, he would steal butter and eat it. And when Mother Yashoda would come and she would see that butter is missing and all the doors of the house are locked and there is no one except Krishna over there, and she would think, where did the butter go? And she would ask Krishna, Krishna, did you steal the butter? So Krishna would say, what? I just woke up, and the Mother Yashoda would feel bewildered. So they are very sweet pastimes that Krishna performs, very enchanting. The 10th canto is full of these pastimes. But in the Christian tradition, they have the idea of a God, the very old and stern looking person who would sit up in the sky, and all that he would do is send thunderbolts on people who disobey him. So that is the idea that they have about God. When some of these people actually more than 500, 700 years back, when they came to India, and some of them went to Mathura, and they saw these beautiful pictures of Krishna with butter on his, on his hands and on his mouth, and his hat in the hand in the butter pot. So, and they saw people offering incenses and lamps to these pictures. They became quite intrigued. They went to these people and they said, who is this boy, why are you offering these lamps and sticks to this picture over there? And people said, no, this is actually God. This is not just an ordinary boy. They got a little shocked. How could this small little boy be God? And then they asked, what is this boy doing? He is actually stealing butter. So they were completely, zapped. Why would, how could the boy, like a simple baby boy, be God? And why would he steal butter of all things in the world? So what happened is, they are only partially aware of God's greatness. They have no knowledge or understanding of God's sweetness. So many times these people, when they see Krishna's pastime with the gopis, they think that this is immoral, this is immoral. What they can't understand is that this God is this God is doing all kinds of sense gratificatory activities. But on the other hand, his devotees, they are giving up those activities. They are worshipping him and they are giving up those activities. So what is going on over there? They can't just understand all of that. So the whole idea is that Krishna is Rasraj, and if we don't understand the Tattva, and if we try to understand the Leela, then it becomes very, very confusing. So I think I am going to exceed the time, so better I stop over here. I had one last point, but that point would continue. So I'll just take a pause and see if there are any questions or comments before I move forward.
So Ganpati Govind, what are the yuga avatars of the other yugas? You said Ram and
Okay,
Krishna.
so actually, it's a good question, and I also had this question. So the Yuga Avtaras are not directly mentioned, even the Laghu Bhagavatamrit, if you see, and the Acharyas are divided who are the Yuga Avtaras for other Yugas. But the Laghu Bhagavatamrit, I was actually studying it before this class. Here the book is. So the book actually gives just a general principle. It says that the Manvantara Avatar expands himself, and then he becomes the Yuga Avatara for that specific Yuga. So again, I wouldn't give any names, and there are
But
just
Manvantara doesn't last for the whole yuga. Manvantara.
What is that, Mataji?
The Manvantara avatar Manu does not last for the whole yuga, right?
No, Mataji. In under one Manu, there are 72 cycles of this Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali Yuga repeats.
Oh, okay.
So under one Manu, there are so you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So.
So Manu becomes the Yuga Avatara, you're saying? To establish the Yuga Dharma?
Right. So the Manvantara, not the Manu, the Manvantara Avatara, the Manvantara Avatara expands himself, and then through the either he himself expands and becomes the Yuga Avatara, or through him the Yuga Avatara descends. There's this general principle that is given in the Laghu Bhagavatamrit, and as far as I know, the Acharyas are also divided about who are the different Yuga Avataras for other yugas. Like, for example, some people say that Lord Kapila was there in the Satyuga. Lord Kapila was the Avatara, but some other people disagree. They say that it was the Hamsa Avatara. So rather than going into all that debate, I would just say that we go with what is mentioned in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita.
Yeah, greatest concern is who's the Yuga Avatara of our Yuga.
Right, that's right. That is very clear to us, at least.
Yeah. And you mentioned rational theology and
Revelational.
theology. Does that conform with like the deductive method and the inductive process?
Okay, I'm not very familiar with deductive and inductive, Mataji.
Deductive is like, being getting liberation through mercy, whereas inductive is kind of rationalizing yourself, you know.
Okay, no, actually, it's a little different. Revelational theology means we believe on Shabda. It's like Shabda. It's a revelation. The certain things, unless it is told to us, we cannot understand. We cannot conceive it. So Prabhupada gives the example of if a child wants to know who is his father, he has to go and ask his mother. So similarly, I know we can by through history and all that, we can understand that Krishna was a historical personality who existed 5,000 years ago, and all the historians actually agree that there was a person named Krishna. But whether or not Krishna actually lifted Govardhan Hill, whether or not Krishna was supreme personality, that cannot be established by any logic or any history or civics or geography. That has to be established through revelation, through Shabda. So we agree that Krishna is God. We accept Krishna as a supreme person. We accept that Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill because it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, because it is told to us by our acharyas. No logic can prove that Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill or Krishna was the supreme personality of Godhead. So that is revelation. Krishna is the supreme person. That is revelation. It has to be revealed to us. You know, we cannot infer by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Krishna also says, Aham Adhiri Devanam Maharshi Nam Cha Sarvashaha. He says that right in the 10th chapter, you know, they cannot understand me because for all practical purposes, I came before them. So the idea is that only Krishna can understand himself.
So revelation theology is something someone has to tell us to whom it has been revealed.
Right. It's a
Whereas-
it's revealed basically.
Yeah.
It's a revelation that is made.
Whereas
So
rationalization is trying to.
Right. Try to conceive either through logic or through inference.
Mhm.
So as we say, the Anuman, as we would think, Anuman Praman and what is that? Sakshat Praman.
Thank you.
Any other last comments or questions?
Hare Krishna, Ganapati Govinda Prabhu, Vaishnavas.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please accept my humble
All this.
obeisance, salvation.
My humble
Prabhupada.
obeisances, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So at the beginning, you mentioned about Jiva Goswami's reference to Gopala Bhatta Goswami in Tattva Sandarbha. It's a comment. It's typical you find in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Actually, Gopala Bhatta Goswami himself, out of his humility, he requested his glories not to be mentioned.
Not to be mentioned.
So it's common, you see that in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami refrains from talking much, and Prabhupada explains in one of the purports as well. And when Jiva Goswami mentions also in the Sarva Samvadini, which is basically Jiva Goswami's further explanation of the text, there he mentions, when he mentions that this work is Gopala Bhatta's, and Gopala Bhatta has actually compiled it by taking the opinion of the other Vaishnavas, and Jiva Goswami himself explains that it means Gopala Bhatta Goswami has taken the teachings of Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Sridhara Swami, and taking those teachings, he has compiled this, and then next verse he addressed himself as Jivaka, and then the ka suffix in certain cases, it means small, insignificant, someone like me, I'm working. So those two verses are actually taken to be the glorification of Gopala Bhatta Goswami and Jiva Goswami's fidelity, faith, in the previous acharyas, because he's connected more to Rupa and Sanatana.
Right.
And Jiva Goswami is nephew of Rupa Goswami. So
yeah, I completely agree with that point, Prabhuji, that it is Prabhuji's, Gopal Bhatta Goswami's humility. But Acharyas also explain that Jiva Goswami is the Siddhanta Acharya of our tradition, and he is establishing the Siddhantas through the different Sandarbhas. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami was originally from Sri Sampradaya. So that was...
That's I don't think that has anything to do with him being, he was like 4 or 5 years old when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I don't think he was in any way reducing the authority of Gopala Bhatta Goswami in that mention. I haven't come across that anywhere. So yes, it's definitely sure that Jiva Goswami is revered, and nobody has written. He has even written more than Vyasadeva, I believe. So that's not debated, but it's not to be compared in that way that he is putting down Gopala Bhatta Goswami in any way. So that I haven't
Right.
come across anywhere. So I studied Tata Sandarbha in Vrindavan, and the mood
No,
was
I'm not
mixed.
saying that he
Yeah.
is putting down Gopal,
Yeah.
but all I'm saying is that the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the Acharyas explained that the principles have to be established in, anyway, it's a long discussion, Prabhuji. We are over time, so let me end
Yeah.
this class because details are there now.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki
Can you hear me?
jai.
Can anyone hear
Yes,
me?
Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Okay, we're going to start.
Yeah, go ahead.
Namami Shwaram Sachidananda Rupam Asakundalam Gokule Brajamana Namami Shwaram Sachidananda Rupam Asakundalam Gokule Brajamana Yashoda Bhiyolu Kala Tavamana Param Rishta Patyanta Dodritya Gopya Yashoda Bhiyolu Kala Tavamana Param Rishta Patyanta Dodritya Gopya Santa Muhur Netra Yukmam Vijantam Param Jayogmena Satanka Netra Netra Yugmam Vrijantam Param Jayogmena Satanka Netra Moho Shwasa Kampatre Rekhanka Khanta Sita Graivam Damodaram Bhakti Bhata Shwashakam Pati Rekanta Kanta Sita Devatam Bhakti Bhata Ite Trishwalila Pirananda Kunde Swaghosham Nimajanta Makhya Payanta Ite Trishwalila Pirananda Kunde Swaghosham Nimajanta Makhya Payanta Adiye Shita Gesho Bhakta Jitatva Naha Prematastam Satta Vritti Vande Adiye Shita Gesho Bhakta Jitatva Naha Prematastam Satta Vritti Vande Ram Deva Moksham Namoksham Vadimba Janyam Rene Hamba Rishada Piha Ram Deva Moksham Namoksham Vadimba Janyam Rene Hamba Rishada Piha Idam Teva Purnatha Gopal Bala Sada me manasya virastam ki manye Idam teva purnatha gopal bala Sada me manasya virastam ki manye Idam te mukambojam atyanta nilay Idam kuntalay snikta raktescha gopya Idam Ambojam Atyanta Hilay Vitam Kuntalay Srita Raktescha Gopya Muhuschumbitam Bimba Raktadharam Me Manasya Virastamalam Lakshalabhay Muhuschumbitam Bimba Raktadharam Me Manasya Virastamalam Lakshalabhay Namo Deva Damodarananda हानिशमामज्ञामिति अक्षितेष्या कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्याति दीनं बतानु हानिशमामज्ञामिति अक्षितेष्या कुबेरात्मजौ पथमुतैव यद्वान् स्वयमुचितौ भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च
कुबेरात्मजौ पथमुतैव यद्वान्
स्वयमुचितौ भक्ति भजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे गृहो मे स्थितमोदरेह तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं मे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे गृहो मे स्थितमोदरेह नमस्ते स्तुताम्ने सुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदाराय विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमस्ते स्तुताम्ने सुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदाराय विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकाय त्वदीया प्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं
नमो राधिकाय
प्रिया प्रियाय
नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं
नमो राधिकाय त्वदीया प्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं नमो राधिकाय त्वदीया प्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यं हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने नमो
विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिने
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्देशतारिणे
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि और भक्तवृंद
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि और भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama
Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan
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 Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan
Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohan
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan
Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohan
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra
Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra
Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Gauranita Jaya Gauranita
Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai
Jaya Radha Damodar Radhe
Jaya Radha Damodar Radhe
Jaya Radha Damodar Radhe
Jaya Radha Damodar Radhe
Jaya Radha Sham Sundar Radha
Jaya Radha Sham Sundar Radha Radhe
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radhe
Jaya Radha Gopinath Radhe
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabrajacharya Jasatara Sata Shri Shri Maharaj Divine Grace Shilabhai Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabrajacharya Asatara Sata Shri Shri Maharaj Divine Grace Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Brahmsikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mahi Ki Jai, Jamuna Mahi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shrimati Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai, O Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai, Lord Nrsimha Deva Ki Jai, Shri Shalagram Shilas Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Who is singing Narsingha Arti? Okay.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. हिरण्याकाशीपूर्वक्षः हिरण्याकाशीपूर्वक्षः शीलाटङ्कानखालाये शीलाटङ्कानखालाये हितो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा हितो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा येतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा येतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बाहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा बाहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलभरे नखा अद्भुतशृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु स्तनभृङ्गा केशभद्रता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव करकमलभरे नखा अद्भुतशृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु स्तनभृङ्गा केशभद्रता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद नरसिंह भगवान की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंद
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Rasraj Prabhu, can you allow me a screen sharing?
Yes, Mataji, you should be, it's allowed. Can you try? It's not working.
Okay, I'll try now. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for the Sunday program this evening. Our first program sponsor for today is Maushmi Mataji, Jayant Prabhu, Akshat and family. They are sponsoring for the quick recovery of Maushmi Mataji's father, Shri Jagat Jyoti Roy, who is in the hospital right now. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Maushmi Mataji, are you online? I guess not. Okay. This is a month of Kartik, so if anybody else is interested in sponsoring the program, please let us know, either through the chat window or you can speak up now. Going forward with the announcements.
Hare Krishna, Amrita Keli Mataji. Can you hear me?
Yes, Sudevi
Yes,
Priya Mataji.
I would like to sponsor for the quick recovery of Krishangi.
Thank you very much, Sudevi Priya Mataji. So,
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
So So this is the month of Kartik. It started yesterday and runs through November 29th. This is the month of festivals. On November 15th, Sunday, we will be celebrating Govardhan Puja. The program is primarily online. We have limited attendance will be allowed at the temple, and Rasraj Prabhu will be sharing the details of that later. In addition to Govardhan Puja, we have other festivals as well this month. Appearance of Radha Kund, November 8th, Diwali, November 14th. That's also the day when Mother Yashoda bound Lord Damodar with a rope. Disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, November 18th, Gopashtami, November 22nd, and disappearance of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. We will be celebrating Govardhan Puja only at the festival. The bullet number 3 that you see on the slides is just a mention so that you can make a note, save the date and celebrate at home. In addition to the routine programs and the daily programs that ISKCON of Connecticut is offering, we are adding another item, that is Damodar Ashtakam, daily at 6:45 p.m. So if you tune into our ISKCON of Connecticut Zoom channel or the Facebook page, then you can watch and participate in Damodar Ashtakam every day at 6:45 p.m. Now during the go ahead, Prabhuji.
Except Sunday, Mataji, because Sunday we are doing as part of our Sunday program.
Sunday program, correct, yeah. So Sunday it will be at 5 p.m. At the time when we start the Aarti, that's when we'll have the Damodar Ashtakam. So if anybody is interested in sponsoring during Kartik or after Kartik, or if you're interested in more details, then you can write to the email ID on the slide. We are offering a brand new Bhakti Shastri course, and Pyare Prabhu, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is the first time that ISKCON of Connecticut is offering the Bhakti Shastri course.
Yes.
Is that
Yes, we are registered now. We had to register because we have a teacher who is going to, here in Connecticut, who is going to be teaching it. So then Connecticut had to get registered, and now we are authorized temple for teaching Bhakti Shastri courses.
Yay, Haribol!
Does anybody have any idea who that authorized teacher is?
I know, but I'm just going to keep quiet and let somebody else get some brownie points today.
I think it's
Yes.
already been on the website, so I know who it is. It's Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, right?
Right.
Haribol!
Yeah, but it hasn't been, but there's no email, so not everybody sees. the
I'm registered. Perhaps I'm the first student.
Well, there's about 5 already, and there's
So
only-
Vaishnava,
wow.
this is all, this
There's
is the
room.
mercy of Pyari Mohan Prabhu, Jiva Mataji, Niranjan Maharaj, and Harmat Preshika Swami. They all worked hard to get this center registered. So I seek their blessings and blessings of all the Vaishnavas. So we can study Prabhupada books and inculcate the mood Prabhupada has given us.
Right, so everyone should give his blessing so we can have a very nice, successful Bhakti Shastri course here.
Yes. Yeah.
Haribol.
Haribol. The broadcast email already went out that has the details, and the link on the slideshow right now, if you click on that link, then you'll be able to see the details. There are, I can just quickly go over. There are four books: Nectar of Instruction, Shri Ishopanishad, Nectar of Devotion, and Bhagavad Gita as it is. And it's a 3-semester program. And you can attend classes online. So perfect time to, deepen your scriptural knowledge and get educated in these books. Use very much Srinivas Prabhu, and thank you again Pyare Prabhu and Jiva Mataji for getting the temple registered.
Yeah, so we have room for 10 more students if anybody would like to take this course. And the price is just $108. Plus, you may have to pay some shipping for the small amount, but it's 108 for the goes to the temple, and
Yeah.
and then it's for like 3 semesters. It's like a year and a half course for $108. Yeah, it's a little cheaper than college courses.
And I think I think it's fair to say that's a very subsidized rate as compared to the prices at which other temples offer this program. I believe there's some people have paid like 500 pounds or something for the Bhakti Shastri program. So, yeah, you pay 108 for the course and the rest you can pay to the temple for donation.
Well, 108 even goes to the temple.
Yeah.
But this is the first course, so you might want to sign up for this one because after this, it might be 500 pounds.
First come, first served.
Yeah. 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 Gidamala Mataji, you were saying something?
November 14th, you said is Diwali. Is Jiva Mataji still having her regular class? It's a Saturday. Regular class that day?
The Sri Shopinath Saturday class, 7 to 8, I think that does not change. I could,
Because it's Diwali, you said Mother Yashoda binds Damodara on that day, right? You said that in your...
yeah, but she binds him
PowerPoint.
like, yeah, but the binding process starts early in the morning. So I think he was bound by 7 p.m.
he's cleaned up and washed up and
Yeah. Yeah.
tucked into bed by then.
Yeah, by that time the trees were down too, Gitamala Mataji.
Right.
So, yeah, so I think we can continue with the Shri Upanishad class. But nice try though, I have to give that to you. Just making light. I know you attend all the classes. I'm the one who's not been very regular. Okay, we can now have Kirtan for our program sponsors.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaprasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine
Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hey, Haribo.
Oh. Srila
Hari
Prabhupada
Bol.
ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Jai. So Gopi, that was really good kirtan. Thank you so much.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, your kirtan is as sweet and delicate as you are. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Maushmi Mataji, Jayant Prabhu, Akshat, their family, sponsoring for Jagat Jyoti Roy ki.
Mm.
Sudevi Priya Mataji, sponsoring for Krishangi ki.
Jai.
So thank you very much, Jiva Mataji and Pyare Prabhu, for the beautiful darshan and the focus and the zoom. And that Sharat Purnima backdrop looks really nice, Jiva Mataji.
So you noticed.
Yes, Pyare
Jiva.
Prabhu.
Jiva. It doesn't do justice to them as when you see it personally in the video.
Yeah, but
Well, anyone can come and look through the window.
Jiva Mataji and Pyare Prabhu, do you want to give the rundown on the garlands today?
Yes, I made them all.
Hari Prabhu ki jai.
Yeah.
I heard Anand Gauranga did the Jagannath Baladev and Subhadra Devi.
He did the dressing, Mataji, not the garland.
Yeah, the
That's
dressing.
I
yeah.
don't know who did it. Tell you.
All I knew was Rashmi and Prakash. I don't know if they had help.
Oh,
I think it was just them.
the garlands, as usual, look very beautiful. All the garlands, even Giriraj, the garlands for the Shelas, Gaurnitai, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadras, Rushing Dev, garland. Who did the vases?
Sevanandini helped, and I also did some.
You also did some. Yeah, the vases also look really nice. Yeah,
And the dresses look beautiful. Who made those dresses?
well, I don't know who made the dresses, but Jiva Mataji picked up the dress yesterday.
They're so beautiful. So beautiful.
His name is Ashok. And he's in Vrindavan.
Mm.
Mm. Okay.
And the contrast looks so nice too, the light blue and the dark blue.
Well, the light, he didn't do the Gorni ties, Gauranga's Gorni ties. We don't know who made those.
Mhm.
In Mumbai, one that makes
Oh,
Ananda Rupas.
I think it's the Muslim devotee. I don't know if he's a devotee, if it's the Muslim
Oh,
one.
he keeps a picture of Krishna.
Yeah, he's somewhat of a
dedicated
devotee
to-
because he has he makes all the deity outfits for the temple in Mumbai, and he made
Wow.
these. He made some things for me once. I'll wear it sometime. It's a vest for a magic show, really fancy. I never wore it because it's fancy, but he's a really nice man. And his family was very much against him, working inside the temple and making outfits for the deities, but
Right, right. Because the Muslims think it's idol worship, yeah.
really.
I don't know if he still does now, but they had an article, I think, in BTG about him.
They have it. I don't know if he still does the deities. I don't know.
But he was always thinking about the deities and their outfits and how he can improve them and serve them. So
Wow. Well, he's on to become a devotee, becoming a devotee.
Always think of me, worship me, become my devotee.
Right, right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:45 p.m. But we have a morning program too, the Bhagavatam class. So, folks,
See you tomorrow at 4:30.
yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna.